Welcome everybody, the third KFC T20 International. If you're joining us for the first time, the toss has been won by Quinton de Kock and he's chosen to bowl first, which isn't necessarily what everybody else would have done, but there is a suggestion here. Stats tell us that chasing under lights works at this ground. The ball seems to skid off the surface a little better, and when it comes onto the bat, of course, with the way the guys play today, they find it easier than when it grips in the surface, so that might be the thinking behind it. But beautiful day, it really is. A little breezier than it was yesterday and the day before. Not quite as hot. Yesterday was a scorcher here, got up to 37 degrees. Today around the mid-20s, and a heavenly Cape Town day. The mountain, of course, looking sternly upon us, hoping that the players do their bit. There are the Australians, no change to their side. Furious with themselves for not getting over the line. How often did David Warner end up unbeaten and a match not won in a run chase? Then Ashton Agar, who was the man responsible for the hat-trick and the man of the match in the first game, along with all the other bowlers, who bowled very well for the South Africans in PE, but it still wasn't quite enough to see them over the line, the batsmen coming undone. A single change to the South African side. Risa Hendricks is out. Rassie van der Dussen is coming up to the top of the order. Heinrich Klaassen comes into the middle order. A lot of powerful strikers with the ball there. They're obviously determined to have a long look at Pike van Biljon. Pretorius is playing, Dwayne Pretorius. And then the bowlers who played the other night. So Dale Steyn is not playing today. Here's David Warner. Dangerous man, along with Aaron Finch, his captain, who's at the other end. Great excitement. We think that Newlands will be full tonight, and no great surprise in that. Very difficult to get into the ground at the moment with the peak hour traffic around the suburbs. I'm sure it'll fill up quickly. Sean Pollock is sitting alongside me. KG Rabada has the new ball. There's a slip in place. This new ball against Warner and Finch, Sean, is never easy.
Yeah, I think it's going to be key, but what's going to be even more of a key for me will be how the ball performs off the surface in the first 2 or 3 overs. Where we see the ball gripping and maybe South Africa going to early cutters. Rabada is class no matter what the format may be.
Let's play.
Here we go then, Rabada versus Warner. Good start from Rabada, and a hint of movement. This time cover's gone back, that's tight! Oh! No, I don't know. I'm not sure that Heinrich Klaassen was alert to that. Maybe he didn't gather the ball cleanly. Oh, well, hello. Hello! That bowler is KG Rabada.
Oh, he's like that one. He has hammered that. That is a magnificent shot. That has gone a long way back for 6.
It's up. Miller. He takes it. For a second I feared that Rassie van der Dussen, who was running in from the boundary, was going to absolutely clatter into him, because he only had eyes for the ball. Fortunately, he looked down at the right time. There's the breakthrough. It's Warner who goes, and perhaps this sparks South Africa into action. Australia have been brilliant. Warner responsible for that too.
Followed up a very good delivery, just top of the off stump. Sharp, short, and very quick. David Miller had to take his time, and he takes it well, a good fielder. And I'll be very happy to see the back of David Warner.
Yep, he walks off and he shakes his head a bit, but he's done well. Gone for 57. It's 120 for 1. Oh, it's close, you know. It's out. It's out. There you go. Shamsi has bowled well in this game. He deserved that one. He deserved at least one. It's the big one. Finch.
certainly is indeed. And let's put together the last 11 or 12 balls. 11 or 12 balls is what's brought this record. We often talk about batting teams getting into a speed wobble in these situations. They're going at 12, they want to keep going. And you have to feed off that as a bowling attack. You have to understand what our opposition want to do. And Shams has done exceptionally well. He's been the one that's been able to keep Australia quiet. Aaron Finch has to leave, 55.
There he goes. Mitchell Marsh with some power. 6. Another set of goals. Couldn't finish the over off. Bang, out of there. 6.
This will take some catching. De Kock with the gloves, it has to be. Oh, it's brilliant. Whoa! See, cleared the way first, signalling to those charging in to get out of the way, which they did. That has gone up and almost come down with ice on it.
Yeah, you often see this at the ground when there's a bit of a stiff breeze operating around the stadium. At the last minute, fielders have to make a little bit of an adjustment. The concern while the ball in the air would have been about making sure no one interrupted the process for Quinton de Kock. We saw the Wanderers with Shamsi that got in his way. That time he screams loudly, but he almost forgot to get the hands back together and then had to launch himself forward. Anyway, it worked out just fine for Quinton de Kock. Third wicket goes down. Wade, 10 off 9 deliveries. Experiment descending before Smith, not really working. Australia now 146 for 3.
Oh, should be caught. Yep, that's important. Mitchell Marsh is a mighty ball striker. The Grey Shamsi, the man who clings on, much to the joy of this crowd who have got involved as the wickets have fallen.
There's a lot of belief in the T20 circuit that if you've got a big hitter, you want to try and keep it out of his eye line. I've seen a few examples this over where Pretorius has tried to go as wide as he possibly can, boring on the wide line and making sure that it's outside the line of Mitchell Marsh, who swung hard in that over. I think there was 4 examples of him going hard at the deliveries. Eventually he gets bat on ball, but it just pops up in the air for bowled Pretorius. 155 for 4. Marsh gone for 19.
Well, that's a pretty good comeback. He'll be worried about the front foot, but there's no signal from the umpire that there's a problem, so I think we can now say bowled him.
I'm surprised he's not going to go have a little check. He's just having a look at the umpire's direction. But you've seen 2 great deliveries from Rabada in this over. One, the Yorker, when you try and hit that area, hit it perfectly. When you're hitting a slow ball, this is the length you want to hit, top of the stumps. And that gives it the best opportunity to grip in the surface and deceive the batsman. Brilliantly bowled. Just makes contact with those zing bails. And eventually, South Africa, after a few opportunities, get their wicket in the over. 171 for 5.
This might be 6. Yep. The way they feel that eased across there, you thought, well, he's just eyeing this up. But Steve Smith has got a lot of it with that free swing of his bat.
Been a lot of mistimed shots at the back end of this innings because of the nature of the surface and the game plans, but that one not mistimed at all. It was a slow delivery, but too full. And easy for Smith just to swing those arms. He still wouldn't have been convinced. I don't think it was anywhere out of exactly the middle, but comfortably over.
Oh, dream shot. That is the stroke of the innings. Don't worry about that. You can watch a lot of cricket and never see anybody hit the ball like that over, never mind extra cover, squarish cover. Extraordinary timing.
That's a brilliant shot. 143 kilometers an hour, and that's a stance that Steve Smith's not uncomfortable taking. And contact, brilliant. The pace on the ball makes it easier, yes. It takes nothing away from how good a shot that is.
So much to look forward to in pursuit of 194 to win the game on, well, it was a beautiful night in Cape Town. Clouds have closed in a bit. The wind's picked up. It's forecast to be 41 k's of wind tomorrow. So I think it's arrived a little early. There it is, 57 Warner and 55 Finch. Brilliant at the top of the order against the new ball. It was, as I said earlier, a ferocious assault on the new ball in the first 6 overs, that power play. And then Smith at the end making something of all those slower balls that the Australians confused or had been confused by in the middle order. Great partnership, 120 in 74 balls. Cummins, Stark, Richardson, Zampa, all the bowlers didn't make it to the wicket.
Bowling-wise, there's no doubt Shamsi was the performer for South Africa in the middle overs. 4 overs, 1 for 25, superb. Victorious and Nevada, same figures, 1 for 42. Northfield took some tap, 20 in his last over, and Ngidi 4 overs, 1 for 33.
So, there we go. South Africa need 194 to win not just the match, but to take the series. 1-1 after victories for Australia at the Wanderers and then South Africa at St George's Park. Almost 10 and over needed to win it and to take the glory tonight. We'll be back with you here at Newlands in just a moment.
Welcome back to Newlands, where we have seen plenty of action so far. That is the story. South Africa require 194 runs. They've got to go at just a shade under the 10 mark. The most important thing about this is they need to get a good start. Now, we saw some spectacular batting from Australia. However, South Africa, after 10 overs, really bowled nicely. Got some wickets, and we'll talk more about that shortly. But alongside me is JP Duminy to get his views. JP, what are your thoughts right now?
Yeah, I think from an Australian point of view, they'll be looking at 194 and feeling like that is a very, very competitive total. South Africa, well, with the start that they had in the first 10 overs, they'll be pretty happy with restricting him to 194. As we look at Quinton de Kock, who's been phenomenal in the T20 game, averaging shade over 32. Good strike rate, good healthy strike rate. So we're in for a cracker of a chase here.
Yeah, his form has been unbelievable, Quinton de Kock. Throughout the entire summer, Rassie van der Dussen has been elevated to the opening berth. He doesn't mind that at all. Had an interview with him yesterday, which you'll see on Supersport shortly, where he was talking about the fact that he's living a dream. Rassie van der Dussen, that's what it means to him at the moment, to be able to represent South Africa. But they're up against this guy, who with a new ball is very dangerous because he swings the new ball. One of the few guys. Surface is good. Oh, it's a beautiful shot to start with. Good fielding in the covers. That was going to scream to the boundary. Solid from de Kock. Van der Dussen on strike now. It's hitting the bat quite hard, so both off the mark. Bowled him. That is magnificent stuff from Mitchell Stark. That's what he's asked to do by the captain. He's done it again. It's a big wicket.
Well, we've spoken about the fact that he gets a little bit of shape up front. Well, this one didn't shape at all. Just played around it. Did Quinton de Kock. Slightly angled bat looking towards the leg side. And sees the middle stump tumbling back. So a great start for Australia.
Yeah, brilliant from Stark. De Kock looks at that again. He'll think he played or looked to play it a little bit on the leg side, a bit too square. He's gone for 5. It's a big blow. 6 for 1. Oh, it's a bit wide. He's had to reach for that. It might be out. Oh, it's a very good catch in the end. He was not in position at all. Really messed that up, but then had to move very sharply to his left and took a fine catch, Adam Zampa.
Yeah, a bit of wind to contend with there, Zampa. And in the end, does the job. Subdued delivery from Mitchell Stark, very wide. Just throws his hands at it, does Faf du Plessis. He'll be very disappointed with that. A bit of a gift of a delivery, but unfortunately missing out on that occasion.
Yeah, that expression tells the story, but a very good catch by Zampa. And Stark is in the game again. Du Plessis gone for 5, 23 for 2. Oh, he's clubbed that. That is a beautiful shot. Magnificent stuff.
Now, what a statement here by Henry Klaassen. Dropped slightly short. I think it could have been the slow ball once again. And grew up in the Highveld. That's been a feature shot of his game, Henry Klaassen. 1-foot pull. And welcome maximum for South Africa, 91 meters.
That is a huge hit. That's going to put a bowler on the back foot, doesn't matter who you are. He's a strong lad, Heinrich Klaassen.
Pull him! Felt he had to do something. Heinrich Klaassen. And it's Zampa with the wicket.
Exactly that. Just kept him under pressure. Didn't give him anything. South Africa needs something desperately, and they can certainly celebrate. Changes around very early, but once again, wicket to wicket into the bails. And Zampa's a very happy man, as he should be. All bowled. South Africa lose their 3rd.
A good start, really straight. Nothing given. Klaassen gone for 22. South Africa 57 for 3. Brilliant work from Adam Zampa. Is it short, fine leg? And what he thinks is get the catch rather than stop it going for 4. So he's in at the ball straight away and pulls off a beauty.
Now what Rassie van der Dussen does here is moves very early. Adam Zampa would have seen that. He's run to his left as quickly as he can. Dives, and as you say, good aggression in attitude, and takes a great catch. 2 spin partners combining to take South Africa's 4th wicket.
So the 2 in men are gone. Van der Dussen's gone for 24. South Africa now 59 for 4. Pull him straight through. Zampa again.
This is the skill of the man. From our distance, looks like probably the googly. From Bullion, as I said, very strong leg side. Wants to turn this onto the leg side. Tries to close the face and through the gap. And Lambert picks up another one, but very simple game plan. He just run up and bowl wicket to wicket. Little variations in the wrist, but he's had a good session in there today. 2 great catch. 2 great catches, in fact, and now 2 very good wickets. Pat van Bullion has to depart just the 1 run. South Africa in deeper trouble, 65 for 5.
Picked up and hit miles and miles and miles by Dwayne Pretorius. Well, it's something to shout about.
Yeah, this is a brilliant shot by Pretorius. 145 kilometers per hour. It's just the length wasn't short enough. I'm not too sure if Cummins was thinking about the short pitch delivery, but it's back of a length. And it's 83 meters. Wanted to come off the bat. We were in no doubt it was going the distance. Seam skidded on, and off the middle it went.
Wonderful.
So alive.
has slapped it, as David Miller, straight to extra cover, and Aaron Finch's celebration tells you all you need to know. They regard Miller as key wicket here, and perhaps even the end game.
You get the feeling, I think it's wicket, game, match, series. David Miller was probably the last hope for South Africa, and he gets this sort of celebration. He knows how big it was. Miller stands in the middle of the wicket, a bit circumspect, and he has to make his way off the ground. Not quite sure how it squirted out to him and ended up with his dismissal, but he goes for 15, 87 for 6.
He hasn't hit it. No, he hasn't hit it. So Marsh has got his man. Sort of ugly sort of shot, done completely, I think, by the pace of the ball and reviewed.
You get the feeling Australia don't have to turn to Mitchell Marsh, but they want to have a look, give him a bit of bowling under the belt. Absolutely no issues with that front foot. All-time best landing spot. I think it's just got to do whether he got some contact on it, because it looks stone dead if you can get the bottom edge.
I think Pretorius has given himself out. We're watching Ultra Edge. He certainly hasn't hit it, and Pretorius has seen what's up on the big screen and departed. We can see that. You can't, but you will in a minute. Because I agree, Sean, it's stone dead.
Almost looks like it's a little bit of a leg cutter from Mitchell Marsh. But perfect, straight up, good length, hitting the stumps, and does the damage with his first delivery in the match. Review lost, wicket taken, 87 for 7.
Well, they've played some very good cricket, the Australians, tonight, and that was one of those moments. A slower ball, first up from big Mitchell Marsh. It does for Dwayne Pretorius. He goes for 11. It's 87 for 7.
For the batsman to hit it away. That's good.
Out as well. Had to be in front of the lot. The reverse sweep, the miss. The 8th wicket falls. And South Africa's frustration, indeed, South Africa's humiliation is close to complete.
I suppose Nortje's watched the top order play similar kind of shots, so he tries to implement it himself. It's the arm delivery, beautifully released, seam position, fantastic. And it goes on a lot quicker, 100 kilometers per hour, and it crashes into the pad long before Nortje can get that bat down. And he just turns around to have a little glance and see the finger go up. He knew it was out, Ashton Agar. Good variation, lands it perfectly. Nortje goes for 2, South Africa 90 for 8.
And that's bowled as well. 9 down now. South Africa are being torn apart here in Newlands.
Surely he can't get 2 hat-tricks in one T20 series. He can, and he's got as good a chance as possible. He's got the number 11 at the crease, and this delivery is the same one as the last one. It's the right arm, 100 km/h arm delivery. Clatters into middle stump. Lungi and Giddy just looking to have an absolute mo first delivery. Didn't think too much about that one. Anyway, it's going to be a hat-trick delivery now. South Africa bowled out for 89 at the Wanderers. They're 90 for 9 here at Newlands.
Again. Clipped away, 4 runs. Big shout. Is the finger going up this time? Yes, it is. There it is. Unless there's a review. I wonder if they're going to have a chat. No.
They don't have
They've got
one.
none left. It's all over. He wants a review anyway. Terrific performance by Australia. This has just been an outstanding performance today. They said before the game they're treating this like a really big match. It was going to be in front of a very big crowd here at Newlands. They wanted to make sure they played really well. They said South Africa played superbly in the last game. They knew they're up against a really good side as well. Well, they've just blown them away. Simple as that. And they win by 97 runs. That is some victory. With Mitchell Starc, he has been such a dominant performer for Australia for a long, long time. And he gets that white ball to swing beautifully right at the top. Made a big difference to Wanderers. Not so much swing today, it was more about just pace as he ran in, and he's always going to get some extra bounce with that added height that he's got. As we look back at the card, de Kock, only 5 runs today. He can't do it every time, I suppose. He's had an outstanding summer. It's almost been every time, but not today.
What it shows you is an over-reliance on him, because you get him out generally, and that's it. And I know it might seem unfair to say that of the rest of them, but in terms of performance, that really is what it has been. If Quinton de Kock doesn't get runs, then there's nobody else to steer the ship, which is a lot of pressure, and the guy's got to keep wicket and bat right up at the top as well as captain.
Quite a few headlines actually leading into this game saying that South Africa could do with 1 or 2 other guys to stand up alongside de Kock, or you can see by these partnerships also. It just didn't happen. 17 between Du Plessis and Van der Dussen. Klaassen and Van der Dussen, they threatened. 34 of 29. And then just 22 off 19. David Miller not getting going again. So there's another question mark about David Miller. It's been some time since he's scored some really good handy runs for South Africa. But in the end, there's been very little resistance there as far as South Africa is concerned.
Brilliant from Mitchell Starc, 3 for 23. And it's the wickets he gets right up at the top, just in the same way as you want your top order to set up the batting for you and get a platform. You want the tone set by your big fast men, and Mitchell Starc did that. Certainly the pick. Got to mention the spinners though, because they've been good throughout the tournament. 3 for 16 for Agar and 2 for 10 for Zampa. A good all-round bowling performance from this Australian bowling attack as they were defending a big total.
You remember in the build-up that Adam Zampa said that the reason him and Agar perform so well together is they've got such a good understanding between each other. They know their roles, they know their jobs, and if you look at the numbers between the spinners, 5 for 26 between the spinners, so that really is some going. So Australia batting first and batting really well right at the start. That was the big difference in this game. Warner 57, 37 balls only. 55 for Finch off 37 balls as well. Smith unfinished with 30. In the end, 193, where they were threatening to get a little bit past the 200 mark at one stage. South Africa came back quite nicely as soon as they picked up that wicket and broke that opening partnership. Shamsi did well, and Gidi came back well again. South African reply, blown away for 96 with Van der Dussen and Klaassen in the 20s, but it was all about the Australian bowlers. Starc, Agar and also Zampa, as Australia won the 3rd and final game in the KFC T20 International by 97 runs.